Good morning YouTube, Lofty Biker here. I've popped up to Damrose. I've got a beauty for you here. I've not ridden the manual version of the Africa Twin since the old 1100 days. So this is a special for me. This is the brand new for 2022 with improved torque, new colour scheme. This is the Honda CRF1100L ES manual with a clutch. If you're interested in the manual Africa Twin, you stick around. I'll see you in a minute. Right, viewers. What do you reckon? Hey, it looks nice. It's got a clutch. How about that? This is the posh one. It's the off-roady version. Oh, it's tall. Oh, that's loads of room. It's the off-roady version. It's not the adventure sport, it's the off-roady version, and it's got a clutch. There we go, Africa Twin. I've got to say, whenever I get on the Africa Twin, I always feel comfortable. It always feels like a place I'm used to being. But I've got to say, this is probably the first time I've ridden a manual for a long time. As you know, I'm a massive DCT fan. And for me, the whole point of having an Africa Twin or an NT is to have the DCT. But I can appreciate there's plenty of you out there who don't want a DCT, so this one's especially for you. It's the manual and it has not got the optional quick shifter. That's extra. This is the base model ES, electronic suspension. So we've got no quick shifter, but I don't think that's a real hardship on a Africa Twin, do you? Let's take it round the island, shall we? Second gear drops in. Oh, beautiful. Like I said, fueling's nice. Well, it feels nice here. I'll let you know a bit more in a minute, but yeah, it's pretty good. We'll do a bit of a second gear, pull the way up the hill, him and the National. Yeah, clutch just changes, no problem, so we ain't really got to worry about having a quick shifter or not. So let's have a look at it. Well, here we are. The CRF1100 ES. How about this? Beautiful red, nice black insets. Different colour. It's not like the old red. I like it. Let's just put me to go. Whoa. We're on the standard high setting for the mid seat. I'll tell you about that in a moment. So as you know, I'm 6'5", 16 stone 4. How about that? Lofty's lost a bit more weight, getting a bit trimmer. Anyway. There we go. So there's plenty of shuffle room, forwards and backwards. Toes on the pegs, easy, ever so easy. I do find with my big boots, I tend to knock the pipe a little bit. But there you go, I can sit full on it, no problem at all. There's no centre stand on this one for some reason. It's probably an optional extra, but what do you think? Fits nice. Let's show you a bit round it. It pops, doesn't it? Doesn't that pop in this light? Very nice. Let's have a quick walk round. The characteristic front. You have to excuse my shadow. It's a beautiful sunny day down here in Cornwall. Anyway, okay, I'm not sure what you can see. We might get a bit of striping on the screen, but we're in tour mode. So I'll just pan out and show you everything first. So, typical generic mirrors, hand guards, start-stop, FN button for alternating grips, cruise control, push in to activate, up and down to reset. I've got used to it. I found it a struggle at first, but now I can move it up and down, no problem at all. We've got hydraulic brakes on the front, of course. Coming across, we've got the cluster. There it is. It's a big one. It's not quite so many buttons on this one as the DCT, but I'll just go through you. Cable clutch. Pass light on the top. We've got the telephone activation, and it activates Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. FN button will alter the volume. So, dead simple. It looks a lot more complicated than you think. It's literally an up and down and a left and right. We've got a back button and we've got an enter. So that's the simple bit. Up, down, left, right, enter, back button. These two here, backwards and forwards, are for playing music to go to your next track. If you're not using the Apple CarPlay or the Android Auto, you don't need them. The horn, one of those dicky little weedy ones. This star button is a fast route. You can set it to something quick, whatever you want to alter quick. Indicators, very tactile. I think that feels nicer than the one on my NT. Hazard warnings. So let's come to the screen. So we've got tour mode. Press the down button, user mode. User mode, off-road mode, gravel road, urban, and back to tour. Trip A, trip B, yeah, range to empty, and you're using, and then 4. You press 4 and you get this new one here, right. So you can have ABS, you can cancel it or activate it. Your HTC, your W, and your preload. Now I've set it for 2 people because I'm quite a big chap, but all you need to do is just press it like that and off it goes, and it just gives you solo. So now I can feel the bike lowering at the back. You press the bag and now it flashes, you get solo and a bag. It's raising up. You press the little helmet in the middle and you get 2 helmets in a bag and it raises up all together. But I don't need the bag, so I'll turn that off. So dead simple. Torque control, engine braking, power. ABS is on, you're in a road mode, and the suspension is on soft and high. Okay, how good's that? Everything else is pretty much the same. Shall we have a listen from the cockpit? Right, let's have a listen from the back. We've got the upswept pipe, here we go. Pretty damn throaty, don't you think? Right, let's give you the full stats and everything about the bike. So, as I said, we've got the Honda, the 2024 model, brand new for this year. Africa Twin CRF1100L ES, electric suspension. It's the same 1084 liquid-cooled 4-stroke lump with an 8-valve parallel twin using a 270-degree throw crank. There's been a bit of alteration in the torque, but not the power. They've altered the inlets or something and the tract, and they've changed it to give it more mid-range. So it is 75 kilowatts, which is 100.5 brake horsepower at a very usable 7,500 revs. 112 Newton metre, that's 82.6 foot-pounds at an extremely usable 5,500 revs. So this engine has got 4.5 foot-pounds of torques more over the 2020 model. So you should feel it be a little bit stronger on the mid-range. It's quite a big beast. It's not as big as the DCT version of the Adventure Sports. This one is 233 kilos wet with an 18.8 litre fuel tank. Should give you mid-50s mile per gallon. Right, so 3 seat heights. Well, actually, there's more than 3. There's 3 seats. This is the standard seat. It's very easy to alter, and the standard seat gives you 850 to 870, so it's quite a tall bike. You can buy a low seat, which drops it down to 825. Still fairly lofty seat. There's also what's called the comfort or the high seat at 885. Now I'm 6'5" and I do not need the high seat. I'm more than happy flat footing with the standard seat on its high setting, so it's 870. Like I say, where this one alters is it's got the electronic suspension. I'll just talk about the suspension a little bit. On the front, we've got 45mm upside down Showa electronic suspended forks. On the rear, we've got monoblock with ProLink electronic suspension. So it's quite a complicated affair, lovely jubbly, works a treat. 6-speed manual, can't fault it. Right, on the front end, we've got Metzeler Karoo tyres that are, I'd say a 50-50, 60-40 tyre. 90-90-21, that's where it differs from the Africa Twin. Also, for the first time, we've got black rims and we've got tubeless. Tubeless on the off-road Africa Twin, that's a first. Two 310mm wavy discs with a Nissin badged radial caliper. Round to the rear, we're running a 150/70/17, same again, Metzeler Karoo Street. Fairly off-road looking, also tubeless, can't fault that. Single 256mm wavy disc with a 2-piston badged Nissin caliper. Pretty standard affair on the back, the caliper. What do you think? Looks pretty good, doesn't it? We got the TFT display, we got an adjustable screen. I believe this model didn't have the adjustable screen before, but it's got the adjustable screen. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, LEDs all the way round. What's it gonna cost you? Right, this is what I think is the one to have. It's the electric suspension. After having the NT with a manual suspension, this electronic suspension is brilliant. It's 14,700. 14,700 for a black one, a red one, or a white one. Absolutely gorgeous. You can knock off a few quid if you don't want the electronic suspension, but personally I think it's worth having. Quick shifter is extra, centre stand is extra, luggage is extra. Anyway, let's take it a bit of a thrash and see what it's like. Okay, YouTube. Right, we're rolling. Sun's out, 12 degrees. That'll do, innit? Let's wait for this car. Okay, so we're away. No, dropping into a 50 then. So here we go. Let's move over a touch. Smack on 50. Even though it's got a 21-inch, I don't mind it. I had an 800 Tiger for years, an XC with a 21-inch front tyres don't really bother me. I know there's not a vast amount of choice of rubber, but you get used to it. They grip pretty well. So we're just catching this van up. So I've throttled off. One thing I noticed is when you throttle right off, it carries on going a little bit. Look, feel it. I'm doing nothing. There's no cruise on. I think it's because some of the early models had this problem with stalling, and they've just altered the fueling slightly so as it just keeps it ticking over a little bit higher. A lot of bikes are forced on the throttle now, you know. Just because you turn the throttle, it don't mean to say you're getting exactly what you've asked for. It's quite a common thing now. It's basically a rheostat that just says to the ECU, can I have? And it gives you what the traction control, ABS and IMU will allow. It's one of the big differences between this and the NT is the Africa Twin's got the full IMU. So you got the 6-axis control over the ABS and the traction control, which is fantastic really. And it does benefit the DCT model especially, because you've got pitching forwards and backwards, and you've got lateral movement side to side as well, so it's brilliant really. And you've also got the up and down. So we're in a 30, we're in third gear 30. I'll just drop it down a second. He's not going very quick in front. Don't want to catch him up too much. Just ease my visor slightly. It's although it says 9 degrees, it feels quite warm and mild. But every time I get on the Africa Twin, it's like an old pair of slippers that you're really comfortable in, an old pair of boots if you like. It always feels at home. And I've got to say, I quite like the standard off-roady version of the Africa Twin. I think the Adventure Sports with the bigger petrol tank and the 19-inch wheels has got a little bit lardy, to be fair, a little bit on the big and heavy side, whereas this still feels more like the original bike. The tank feels a bit lower than the NT, but it's comfortable. Nice place to be. Hopefully we'll get past this buzz shortly and we'll stretch its little legs. One thing for certain, the fueling is beautiful. I'll see what it's like when we get the cruise on. A lot of people have complained about the NT. In fact, I did. It weren't that clever when I first had it, but with time, I think the fueling's got a lot better. And to be honest, this does feel quite sweet. Somebody's coming. No hill hold, shame really. No handbrake either, because you don't need it, no DCT. But I do think hill hold, especially when you're touring two up with luggage, hill hold is indispensable. So I'm sorry to say Honda don't fit the hill hold. I've got the screen in the eye position. It's ever so easy to adjust. There's these two lugs here. You just put your thumb on each side and push it up and down. They've done it like that so you don't adjust it on the fly while you're riding, to keep both hands on the handlebars. So we're dropping into the 50, past the garage, and we'll take a right to Trevisco. Hopefully the buzz will go straight on towards St Austell. Oh, he's turning left, up towards Whitmore. Right, so first gear, second gear, I'm going to drop it straight into third. Third gear roll on. Yeah, you can feel that bit of extra torque over my NT. Yeah, it's nice. So we'll drop it down the hill into Trevisco. We'll just get it up to 30 so I can get the cruise on. No, the cruise don't want to play. We'll just keep it at 27 until I get on the level. So here we go. It'll pull 30 mile an hour fourth gear, no trouble at all. Absolutely gorgeous, that is. You can feel that extra torque. The engine's not quite so laboured on the NT. If I was in fourth gear in this sort of situation on the NT, I think it would feel a bit laboured. So that's good, really. So here we go. Yeah, the third gear pull away is lovely. The front end feels nice. Got a parked car. Let's have a look in the mirrors. There's nothing about 40 odd mile an hour. Back brake. Yeah, it works. It's okay. It's fairly new, but it's okay. That is. It's a good stability device. So same again. We'll get around the corner. Just so as I can see, it's clear. We're all right behind. Let's give the front brake a dab. Yeah, it's okay. That is. There's quite a bit of fork dive when you give it a good dab. Right, so we'll drop round the corner and we'll test them out together, front and back. Down the hill, steeper than it looks. Here we go. Yeah, they alls it up pretty quick. They're not bad brakes, they ain't. I just let a bit of air in. Down into third, bit of breakage, drop it over, round it goes. Steady it on the back, away it goes. These are lovely bikes, these Africa Twins. Back into third, bit of grease on the road there, over the top. Here we go. Straight up to 60. Hold a nice line. So there you go, we're settled in on the cruise control. Unfortunately this little car's going to spoil our fun a little bit. We might even get a third gear overtake in here. All clear. Here we go. Third gear rolling. Straight up to 70. Right, now then, as with most Africa Twins I ride, I do get a fair amount of buffeting on my head. I can feel it there on the front. Yeah, I don't know. One of the things I think the Africa Twin does suffer with. So, drop it down. Lovely clutch. It only needs the slightest bit of engagement to drop down into third. So we'll just get around the island nice and steady. As I say, slow speed riding, the throttle's nice. I've got no complaints with that throttle. And the indicator button, I do like the indicator button, it definitely feels better. Here we go, look at that willingness. Yeah, it's a good bike, this is. A lot of people say, why don't they give it 125, 130 brake? I don't know. To be fair, it's got enough go. You can ride this two up, you can tour on it. I don't really have a problem with the bike at all. I think 100 brake and this amount of torque, especially at 5,000 revs, is fantastic. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you like watching my lofty videos. I've got the tours on at the moment. Hopefully I'll get this done tonight, ready for Friday, and then we get back to about episode 6 or 7 on the tour. So click on that like, subscribe, ring the little bell, ask me a question. I don't mind answering questions. I love talking about bikes, and I like this one. I can talk about this one forever. Anyway, we're nearly back at Damrells. That's gone quick, innit? It's gone so quick. Nice and steady, round we go. We've got the window cleaner here. Anyway, this is the Lofty Biker saying ta-ra for now. Ta-ra.